Yo, what's up, tutors? It's your boy, the six-figure tutor with smarttutor.io, coming at you with another YouTube video, so check it out. In this video, I'm actually going to be hopping into a Facebook Ads Manager and kind of explaining you step by step how exactly I would set up the back end of my Facebook ads. In this video, we're not actually going to be creating the ad itself, but I'm going to give you a broad overview so you understand when you hop into this Facebook ads account or into your Facebook ads account exactly how you can set it up and do it properly the very first time. So before we actually dive into the ads manager and kind of jump into the nitty gritty and all the fun stuff, I want to let you guys know that I did just release a complete Facebook ads course. It's called Facebook Ads Mastery. Accelerate your tutoring business growth. So if you want to check that out, it's literally only $10, guys. I put my heart and soul into this course to make sure that you guys would have everything you needed to get started with running profitable Facebook ads for your tutoring business. So if you're interested in picking that up for only $10, it's going to be a link is going to be in the description. And with that being said, guys, let's just hop right on in. So this is what Ads Manager would look like, or what your Ads Manager should look like. Depending on when you're actually watching this video, there's going to be slight variations. But if you want to actually start creating your ad, what you do is you hit this big green button right here, right? So you hit create. And then you have all these different options, right? There's awareness, traffic, engagement, leads, app promotion, and sales, right? And so it gives you a pretty good breakdown right here. So for example, for awareness, it's good for reach, brand awareness, video views, store location awareness, stuff like that. Awareness, I don't really run awareness ads very often. Traffic is for links, landing page views, etc. Right? You could take the time to kind of read all these things: engagements, leads, and app promotions. If you have an app, right? If you want app installs, stuff like that. And then there's sales. The two biggest ones that I personally use and that I teach are leads, right? Because they have instant forms where you can actually just use the form that Facebook provides, which is really, really effective. And then sales, right? Sales will give you your conversions. So if you want actual purchases of something, which is really good. Because the thing with Facebook ads is Facebook is really good at helping you get what you ask for. And what I mean for that is if you want clicks, if you just want people to click your link, which depending on the case, it's kind of useless in my opinion. You're going to get clicks, right? If you tell, hey, I want traffic, you're going to get clicks. But you might not get a lot of purchases because you're telling Facebook, I want clicks or I want landing page views, right? If you go for leads, you're telling Facebook, I want leads, right? If you go for sales, you're telling Facebook, I want sales, right? So keep that in mind when creating it. So just for fun, we'll just go with, let's go for leads, right? Because leads is a really popular one that I use a lot. So you would just click continue, and now we're kind of going to create it. So we have our campaign name, right? Microphone's a little bit in the way here. Campaign name, I keep it pretty simple. Just name it whatever you're going for, right? And so, you just put name here. So for example, if you're let's say you're selling an educational course, right? You'd put the name of the course here. Or if you're doing, a voucher for tutoring or whatever, that might be put here, right? So you would just kind of put the name here, but make it clear and identifiable. So let's say you have a couple campaigns running, you know exactly which one is which, okay? So be very clear. And then what I do, so campaign objective leads, right? And what I do is I put advantage campaign budget, okay? So what I do is I turn this on, and what'll happen is you can put your daily budget here. So let's say your daily budget, let's just leave it at $20. Let's say it's $20. Well, if you have multiple ad sets, let's say you have 3 different ad sets, it's going to distribute that $20 between all 3, okay? So it's really, really cool. So we actually, or I like to actually control the budget at the campaign level, especially when I'm first starting out, especially when I'm testing different ad sets, okay? So perfect. So that's kind of what that is, right? So this is gonna just distribute the budget throughout all your different ad sets. So you're gonna click next, and boom, the actual campaign portion is done. Now this section is going to be the campaign ad set, or just the ad set rather. So because you have the campaign up top, which is kind of the overall thing, you have the ad set. And the ad set, what that is it's basically where you control a lot of the variables. So locations, the interests that you're targeting, ages, genders, stuff like that, placement, like the actual placement on the Facebook platform itself, where people are going to be seeing the ad, stuff like that. And then you have the ad level, and the ad level is just the creative. It's the video or the image, the copy, the headline, stuff like that, right? So those are kind of the three aspects to this. So ad set name, what I typically do is I put interests. So interests. So I'll put the interests that I'm targeting. If I'm targeting a lot of interests rather, I need to work on my English. If I am targeting a lot of different interests, I'll just put stacked. So that's kind of what I stacked. Or if I'm targeting, for example, competitors, I'll put competitor stacked or stacked competitors, something like that. And then I'll typically put my location that I'm targeting. And that's really all I need to know. And then you have all these different things, right? So website, if you want to generate leads directly through your website, right? Instant forms, messenger, Instagram calls, apps, stuff like that. I like to go with instant forms. Now, in this particular ad account, this is like a testing ad account. By testing, I mean it's just the one I use to film. I don't actually test through it. So it's kind of old, but in the newer ones, you'll see instant forms plus messenger. If you're going to be doing lead ad forms or lead ad instant forms, which I highly recommend, and it's a lot of what I teach in my courses, a lot of what I teach my students, and we get really, really good results from using instant forms and then following up with those leads and all that good stuff. But that's kind of beyond this video. But if you're creating a lead form ad, there's going to be one that says instant forms plus messenger. That's the one that I like to use. Okay, so let's just pretend that's what it says. And then so what you would do is you would just select the proper Facebook page, right? This is the old page of mine, so don't worry about that. Obviously pick the page that you want to run ads through, right? So it'll be your tutoring page. Maximum number of leads, so there's a couple different ones, right? So maximum number of conversion leads, right? So we'll try to show your ads to people most likely to convert after sharing their contact information, which is quite good. So just remember, depending, maximum number of leads is you're gonna get the most number of leads, and if your follow-up is okay, that's good, right? Because you're just getting a whole bunch of leads. But if your follow-up game isn't really good, stuff like that, maybe you want to go with maximum number of conversion leads. Just remember, the higher quality of the lead conversion cost to acquire is going to increase. Okay, so keep that in mind. Cool. So then what I do typically if I was going to launch this ad is I would launch it the very next day at midnight. Oh, not 2. It'll be midnight, 2 o'clock. Boom. I don't set an end date, right? I just let it run. I turn them off when I would like. And then this is what I do. Okay. So for ad set spending limit, what I do is I do put a minimum, because if you don't put minimums on your ad sets, what's going to happen is Facebook's going to distribute that budget that we initially set however it wants, and sometimes it could be a little wonky. So what I do, for example, let's say I'm going to be testing 3 different ad sets and my budget is $20, right? So 20 divided by 3 is going to be what, like, I don't know, something, right? Let's see. I want to get you the exact number. I'm the math guy, but I'm having a brain fart right now. So let's see, 20 divided by 3, so $6.66, right? So what I would do is I would probably say I'm going to give each ad set itself $5. So that'll be $5 for the first, $5 for the second, $5 for the third, so that's $15. And that additional $5 in budget, I'm going to let Facebook distribute however it wants at that point, okay? So it can distribute a little bit extra to the ones that it feels like it, but I'm going to make sure that each ad set has at least a minimum, because if not, you're not really going to be properly testing different ad sets and stuff like that. So I set a minimum, and that's kind of how I figure it out. And now this is where you would actually create your audience, right? So here you would create your location, right? So this is going to change for everyone. If you're local, you can literally just put in your address. You can drag and drop a pin. You could just say, let's see, where are we at right now? So there's Brazil. So United States is up here. So let's say, you want to target, I don't know, San Jose, right? You can just drag and pin and boop, put it there, right? And then you could put, the different radius, all that good stuff. Or if you want to target like different locations, let's say you live in Canada, type in Canada, and then Canada country region, boom, now you're targeting Canada, etc., right? And you can put multiple in here. So you could put, United Kingdom, stuff like that. You can span, you can put Australia, wherever you want to target. Okay, you can even just put in your address though. That's what I'm saying. So if you're a local tutor, you can just put in your address, which is really cool. So do that. Your age, typically for tutors, and we want like child aged students. If we want children who are in school, most likely the parents aren't going to be 18, right? So what I like to do is I like to go 25 or 30 plus, and I might even put this at 60. So like 30 to 60 is typically a pretty good age range for me, because I'm targeting parents, right? And so we want to make sure that they have age appropriate kids. That's what I'm trying to say. So gender, you can put all if you're not sure, but a lot of times I personally speak with like the mothers, right? So you can put women, or if you're not sure, just put all. Facebook's really good at figuring that out for you, and you can always define define your gender later once you get more data. Okay. Targeting. So what I like to do is advantage details real quick. Take that off. Just take it off. I've never really seen good results with that. But with the detailed targeting, what I like to start off is with my competitors. So I'll say, like, let's say I'm a math tutor. So I'll do Mathnasium, for example. Let's start with that. Now, be careful, not the employers, right? Because those are the people that own the Mathnasium, right? But you want to do the interest, people that are interested in Mathnasium, because the thought behind this is that people that are interested in other tutoring centers may have tried tutors and had a bad experience, and then they come across your ad, right? Typically have money for tutoring, right? They're interested in education, all that good stuff, right? So there's a lot of good things that happen. I've always gotten good results out of targeting interest. Now here's the caveat, or competitor interests. Here's the caveat though. If you're a local tutor and you tutor only locally, a lot of times what I will do, because the audience isn't that big locally, I put no interest at all, and I let Facebook do all the work for the interest. You don't need interests to have successful ads, okay? But if you're targeting large audiences, then I highly recommend it, okay? So keep that in mind. So with that being said, what I do is I find my first one, and Facebook has this cool thing called suggestions, where it'll now find interests related to this, right? So I could say, okay, Kumon, people that are interested in Khan Academy, right? So I'm at 1.3 million right now. So I want to see this, above a million. Maybe around 10 million is typically a good audience size, because Facebook likes big audiences, right? Sylvan Learning, right? And this is going to change depending on where you live, the competitors that are there, stuff like that. But, you can just kind of go down this list and say, you can even target parents with, specific aged kids, right? If you tutor, for example, high school, you can say parents with teenagers, right? And we're just stacking our interests here. So this is what I call stacked, right? But I want all these interests to be similar. So I want all these to be just competitors at this point. And people could argue Khan Academy isn't really a competitor, not really a tutoring center, but, whatever. And then tuition center, right? So vocational training, test prep, right? You can even target test prep if you're like an SAT tutor or something like that, right? You can even put in ACT tutoring specifically, so like ACT test, right, etc. So you can target like that, go through that, and that's how I'd set that up. Okay, make sure this is checked off, all languages is fine. Now what I do down here is I will put manual placements, remove audience networks, and then what I'll do is I'll remove everything if I'm doing like a feed. Open up this, and then I would only start off with Facebook feed and Instagram feed, and that is it, right? Because that's like the granddaddy of real estate when it comes to marketing. That's like right when people open up their phones, that's what they see, right? So definitely do this. If you're doing some other sort of ad, like a vertical, a vertical like story type of ad, something like that, then obviously you'd pick like Instagram and Facebook stories. But typically speaking, what I do is I start with Facebook and Instagram, and then I will only do Facebook feed and Instagram feed, and I will take everything else off. Okay, show more options. I don't really do much with this, but you can You could change the devices, right? Only connected to Wi-Fi, stuff like that if you want. I don't really mess with that. And then you're done. That's the ad set. Now the ad set level is done. Now, this is where you actually create the ad itself. So ignore that. It's old thing that I used to do. Now the ad name, because especially if you're testing different ones, you want to make sure that you are pretty clear. You can just say, image number 1 if you really want, but you can be more identifying. So you could say like, child with, tutor, something like that, whatever. And this is gonna be related to the image or the video that you're testing. Okay. And then you would just select your Instagram account, make sure your Facebook page is connected, all that good stuff. Take off multi-advertiser ads, take that off. Single image or video. If you're going to do a carousel, you can, but typically, single image or video are pretty good to start off with. And then here's where you'd add your media. So you just click add image or add video, upload it. Here's where you'd put your primary text, which we refer to as copy. So, please buy my tutoring. Obviously don't put please buy my tutoring, right? That's just me trying to be funny. Headline. This is where you put the headline, right? Best math tutoring ever. The headline is down here. We don't have an image, but let's see. So let's add an image real quick just so I can kind of show you, give you an example of what that might look like. I'll just pick this image for now, just as an example. Boom. So you have the copy up here, Facebook page, you have the image or video here, and then you have the headline here. Then you have the call to action. You can do description, which is like description, which is underneath here. I usually leave the description blank, but you can put it here if you like. Call to action, you can do sign up if that's what you're trying to get people to do. You can click download or put download if you have like a lead magnet or something like that. Get offer, right, is a pretty strong one if you have an offer. And then you could have like an instant form, right? In this particular ad set, or ad rather, we're doing leads. So that's why you'd have to create a form and all that good stuff. But other than that, once that's all done, you'd have your ad, you'd have it set up properly. You could start testing. You'd click publish, boom, and you would be good to go. Now, only last thing I'd like to add, this video isn't really on that, but if you were testing, you wanted to test multiple things, I have been testing at the ad set level. So what that means is we have the campaign name here, you go into the ad sets, which you have this ad set, and then per one ad set, you have an ad, okay? So all I would do is I'd go here, I'd click duplicate, original campaign, boom, I'd go through the same steps, but most of it's already gonna be done for you. I just typically check, so delete the copy, you can rename this, whatever. I just kind of run through it, make sure everything is still the same, make sure everything makes sense. If you're testing, you don't want to change anything, but sometimes Facebook is a little glitchy, so just run through it, make sure it's all good. You would just go here, and let's say you wanted to test the image, you would just remove the image, and you would upload a new image. Let's just say, for example, this one, right? You would upload a new image. You have a new image here, you would click publish, and then boom. Obviously, I'm not going to publish it. Now you have two ad sets, right? And now that budget, that $20 budget that we put on the campaign advantage, we'll start distributing through these, okay? And each one's gonna have a $5 minimum. So then you can do it one more time if you want to test it 3, and then boom, you have a campaign, you have multiple ad sets, and per ad set, you have one ad. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. I'm going to be doing a lot more content focused around Facebook advertising to make it profitable for your guys' business. So if that's something you're interested in learning, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check out my $10 Facebook Ads Mastery course specifically designed for tutors, right? I've been marketing for over 8 years effectively for my own tutoring center, and so now I want to kind of spill over that knowledge to you guys. So with that being said, guys, check that out. The link is in the description. Hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.